Because you know that guy in power is pro-racist. Yeah.
That's why I like him.
America first.
First.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a lot of heat for being racist on the internet this week.
Yeah.
That's a different discussion.
I don't. So tell me why you're racist. Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Oh, I told them on the internet I'm racist.
Okay.
And
tell me about why that's the better way, or give me the little ins and outs that.
Well, to be racist, the better way is that it's more of a conservative approach because you're.
It doesn't matter about if it's conservative.
No, but it's conservative. I mean, it's more right wing, not conservative. It's not conservative. It's like the benefit, I guess, or why maybe you might be racist. Well, you become racist through pattern recognition, I think, and then you embrace the racism through a sort of collective consciousness of protection. Because if you're going to be more right oriented, you're more borders, right? Borders, walls. These are psychological as well as physical. So to be racist is to almost put a border up between you and the other people that are not like you. And that's just what you would be to be racist, I guess. But also I make, if I wanted to be, Trump's racist. So if you support Trump, then you're racist. So that's one reason I'm racist. And I think it's fun to make jokes about fried chicken and pumpkin spice and stuff like that.
I get that. I guess give me an explanation of why it might be better to be racist or tribal as opposed to like
collective,
belligerently multicultural.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess you would prefer walking the line, right? Walking the line of the yin and the yang. But sometimes when you feel maybe flooded by a flood of multiculturalism, a flood of diversity, you feel protective all of a sudden. You go up and you almost swing the pendulum another way. You say, "Whoa, hold on, let's hold up. Let's try to let's preserve our culture," right? And when you're speaking of culture, everybody agrees demographics are at play. So if you want to protect something like freedom of speech, absolute freedom of speech, Second Amendment rights, you're going to be looking at demographics and how these things correlate in such a regard. And so you might find some kind of benefit in that respect, I suppose. Because in it's interesting when people are like, the whole thing of, there's like a cliche meme of counter-signaling the idea of diversity is our strength. But there's often truth in cliche, right? It's like, what's so strong about diversity? And I guess it's fun. It's like interesting. It's like, wow, that guy's Japanese. He's eating sushi. You're like, that's crazy, man. We're eating sushi now. Let's fuse it with some enchiladas. We got enchilada sushi. You're like, this is a wacky culture, man. We got Ethiopian, this guy's making Canadian Ethiopian food. It's like real wild, I guess. It's crazy. And there's something maybe interesting about that. But when you blend all these things together, maybe there's less order than there is chaos, right? So the preferred state would be a balanced approach of a fine line, walking a line of, walking a line, but I don't know. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. But I'm just saying, I'm not saying this or that. I'm just saying I'm racist, and I got in some heat on the internet this week for just for being racist. Like, I wasn't being hateful or violent or anything.
Well,
Promoting. I don't condone any violence. I don't condone any hatred. I only preach love and strength and positivity and truth and honesty.
But you'll self-identify. identify as racist.
as a racist. But
Why? Isn't that completely awful and evil?
well, you can tell it's not because people's average approach to racism is like, that guy's racist, your grandma's racist, those pickles are racist, my shoelaces are racist. So then it becomes a montage of mundane.
But how did you say that you're racist to the world? How did you say it?
Well, I think how I said it is,
You said it pretty basic.
yeah, I said I'm racist on the internet. I just said I'm racist because,
And then
I think if enough people call you racist, maybe you start to believe it, and not only that, you become racist. Now I'm racist.
I think on social media you literally just said
I'm racist.
the words "I'm racist."
Oh yeah, that's true. And then some people would,
that's a provocative statement.
but you know what, you would think it is, but it's not. It's not. It's not provocative because people felt at ease with it. Actually, they felt at ease, and they almost had some curiosity, like, well, what kind of racist are you? What does that mean? But I'm like, well, that's not a descriptive people apply when, that's not something they apply.
Let's start by addressing. It doesn't have to be chronological. What was the most milquetoast response to your "I'm racist" posts on social media? Come on, tell me.
I guess. Well, hey, I don't know about milquetoast, but the most kind of low impulse control was like, hey, well, I'm gonna have to kick your ass because my kids are black, and this is coming from a white guy. Bless you. Salud. That's Spanish.
Thank you.
So he was like, my kids are black, and I'd like to have this guy on. I consider him a guy I love.
Who?
Do
you like
Ivan.
him? Do you like?
No homo. But I'm just saying.
He's got like sexy shoulders. You like his arms? What's going on?
No, but this guy said he has black kids through step parenting or whatever, and he's like, I'm not having a world of racists like you. I'm gonna beat your ass. And I'm just like, bruh, I mean, you're gonna try to kick my ass. I'm admitting it because some of these white guys are blind to they're utilizing their privilege to be blind to the racism. So I guess the most basic response is like, hey, look, I'm gonna kick your ass if you're a racist. But it's like, but everybody's racist. You're gonna go kick everybody's ass, or you're calling all these people racist. So it's very interesting, and it's caused some a whirlwind of ideas to float around. But most people weren't quite. They weren't upset. They were more curious, which is interesting, I guess. But yeah, it's a whole thing. I don't know. Maybe we'll save that for another show or something. But we'll try to get Ivan on. Ivan was threatening me with violence, but I was like, hey man, I'm not worried about it. Let's just talk it out. And he was cool with that. He was very not respectful. He was being a guy with disrespect, but he was interesting. And some people, these are heated times, right? And this is a social issue, right? Currently with George Floyd and the riots, and it's a big problem across the board, right? All the way across the board, aside from the statistics part of it, but besides that, everything's a big issue, not including the statistics and the sort of truth in numbers, I guess, or what's actually going on. But that's neither here nor there. But anyways, yeah, I'm racist. If you have some ideas about it, call in, let us know what you think. And can you be a Trump supporter? I support Trump to some extent. Who else do we have? But if you do support him, how are you not racist? Why don't you call in and describe to yourself? Come prove to me you're not racist if you support that. And also,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to be. It's hard to be. It's hard to be completely non-racist today.
Yeah. It's almost like there's a spectrum.
In any of your political decisions, if you can make that out to be completely non-racist, then
yeah, what is
you
racist?
truly are the cleanly one.
Yeah. But what is racist besides race? Ist, you know? It's like a ish. It's just race consciousness, I guess. It's race awareness. A lot of people are starting to practice more of a race awareness, race consciousness.
It's consciousness.
Yeah, and so they're just kind of waking up to the ideas of identity politics. And some people will bastardize that term, or they'll say, you guys are being identical with your identity politics, but they are being identical because it's across the board. And it's like, are you going to embrace the identity or not? Are you going to be honest with the identity? Or are you going to explore the identity? Or are you going to be honest and call things out as they are? So it's a whole racist situation. It's very confusing. But I've been drinking mezcal too, so I can't quite express my whole thoughts on this issue because I'm completely wasted and inebriated.
Are you drinking tequila or mezcal?
Mezcal, which is Spanish for mezcal.